Welcome back to another episode of Conversation Saves the World. We're here saving the world with Chris Edwards, the one and only Big Cat, aka
What's
Big
good?
Cat. Back here with Joey, and you know, I'll give my little introduction first, but I'll let Big Cat do a little short introduction. We'll go into from there.
Yeah, my name is Chris, also known as Big Cat. I'm an engineer, audio producer, artist, and I'm glad to be here with y'all.
Yeah. All right. Cool. We also, I mean, you left out half of yourself
I
too.
mean,
We also played college football
we gonna
together.
get into that
Uh,
too. We gonna get into that.
yeah, man, that's a part of the you was a team captain on a conference championship team. You know what I mean? So like, those are some accolades that this guy brings
I
to
don't
the
really
table.
brag about myself too much. What he said.
He's not
he's
bragging with
very
his facts, right?
he's just very humble. That's all it is.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I get you. But it's not bragging if it's facts. That's all I'm saying. Um, but yeah. So we're back with another episode. We're here with Big Cat. Um, I have some personal questions. Joey doesn't know Big Cat as well, but
No,
we're
I
gonna get
don't.
into this. Uh, so first, I want to ask, Big Cat. You know what I mean? Like, I want to ask you because everything is very valid right now, right? How is COVID-19 affecting you, like as 2020 is starting to roll? We're halfway through 2020, really. It's June, So
I mean,
how go
like
ahead.
for me personally, like as we spoke a little bit earlier, like I did lose my job due to COVID, and like,
A
but
lot of people did.
yeah,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, I'm a person that loves to adapt, and I'm a person
Yeah.
that's gonna jump into the things that I needed to. So I felt like I looked at it as a blessing in disguise, kind of,
Yeah.
because I was slacking on my music and I was slacking on. I also do real estate, so I was kind of slacking on that. So that
Yeah.
kind of gave me an opportunity to pick myself back up and get more clients coming into the studio, and also jump into real estate and hurry up and get my license,
Yeah.
pretty much.
That's
So
Yeah,
awesome.
man. Yeah,
so yeah,
I love what you just said, the blessing in disguise, because like
Yeah.
that's really what this is. Like it's hard, but we gotta adapt. You can't pretend
Yeah.
like we're living in 2019.
most definitely, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And it's very interesting because, a lot of people lost their jobs, a couple months ago when it first
mhm.
started. It just affected me now because the store that I work at the Woodfield Mall location, and it's getting officially closed now. And so now I'm being offered another like call center position, but that's not kind of where I want to go. So now I'm finding other opportunities at different jobs just because I'm like, time to move on.
Yeah,
Most
it's
definitely,
it's
yeah.
definitely a time of adaptation right now.
Yep.
But yeah. So going forward with that, like like you said, you're working on your music now. You're working on the studio, all these different things. Give us a little like explanation on what's going on with that.
So pretty much I just been trying just growing my clientele, and also with that, like the artists I'm really close with, and I'm like that I constantly work with, such as like Rello, Keely, even you, and like just a lot of people. I'm like trying to get into the management and like developing stage to like where I'm actually helping other people develop their artistry and like
Okay.
kind of guide them to where they need to do, like independent, to pretty much guide independent artists to where they need to go when it goes to like kind of promoting your music and
Yeah.
putting your music on social media and everything.
You know what's funny, man, is I feel like that's like the progression of music, right? So when I got in there, I had like a mentor, right? Yeah, I feel like you met him before, Novair Somoza. He was actually on the podcast a couple episodes ago.
Episode 4.
But episode 4. Um, but he was like my big. He was a mentor for me. He really caught me up to speed on like how to make money off of music, right? Like, because music is fun, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
like basket weaving. You could do it all day and not really care. But making money off of music, that's the real goal, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't know you can still make money and not really be
Right,
famous. You can
right,
make millions of
right,
dollars and still not be famous on your
right,
music.
right.
So,
I
okay.
go ahead.
No, so how is that possible? As someone who
I
doesn't
mean,
know too much about the music industry and everything like that.
I mean, there are a lot of YouTube producers who actually make like a salary, like a six-figure salary just
Yeah.
on making beats.
Okay.
So like you can make money and not be famous doing
I
music.
was like, so any of the viewers and even to you, Joey, go on YouTube and literally type in type beats, right? And you'll see people who make a bunch of type beats, right? But you'll see people with 300,000 subscribers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just care about this guy making music type beats. So type beats would be like a Drake, the artist, right?
Yeah.
Type beat. So this guy's making a Drake type of beat. And
Gotcha.
literally he'll put it out there or whatever. People will, he'll put it out there as free, right? It's free marketing, right? Put it out there as free. Someone likes it, they want to buy it or they lease it, and that's how the guy makes money. He probably makes a video every day. Probably it as me as a producer, and you can ask Big Cat as a producer as well. Like I could probably knock out, if I focused, I could probably knock out like 3 beats in a good like 5-hour span, right? And like from there I have 3 days worth of content, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
so like that's how I feel they keep the content rolling. A lot of these people have like groups of people who are putting out music for however long, but you get guys like this who are not famous, you probably don't know about them, who will show up on your favorite artist beats, who will clear at least 80K a year just from selling and releasing beats and whatnot. It's definitely it's definitely like a free market, so it's not promised that you'll make 80K a year, but
Yeah.
there's definitely profitability in it, you know, and that was something I had no clue of before I met Novair, and and started talking to a bunch of other people in the music community.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's very interesting, I think. But but no, it's very interesting going back to you, Big Cat, like because as you start, I mean, as everyone starts, you kind of come from a point where you don't know how to make that money and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, I like that you're taking that mentor role, and that's kind of always something I've seen in you in a sense,
Most definitely,
just
bro.
from knowing you, just having that mentor role in you.
Bro, like you already know I never stand in the back seat, so like it's just a thing that I feel like I gotta do because I took my time to learn, and like it's the people that come to me, if they want to learn and they're willing to learn, I'm open to guiding people and helping people, and it also helps me learn along the way too. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So going from there, you got any projects that you're thinking about releasing soon?
I'm working on a project, but I don't have a specific name for it because I'm kind of all over the place with it. But I definitely want to release some in the next 2 months, and I have songs to release. But I want to get that more structured, pretty much. So, I'm working on
I'm gonna
something.
link your album. I'm gonna link your album in the description because I think everybody needs to hear it. And
No,
you had your girlfriend at the time uh recite a poem that you had writ, right, in
yeah,
that album, and that
yeah,
was very powerful. I thought that was cool, man. I thought
yeah.
that was some slick shit you did right there, you know.
Yeah. I dropped that about a year ago.
Mhm.
It's a good project, but I definitely listen to it now and like, damn, I got so much better with my sound and like
Yeah,
so much better with everything. So I like listen to it and cringe a little bit, but it's a good
it's
project
definitely
though.
it definitely is a starting point. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
all got our starting points. I go back and listen to my old beats, and I'm like, man, this shit is terrible. But like, it's what growing is, you know.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's just with any creative outlook that you do. It's just like whenever you first start and you just like think it was really good and then you get way better and then you look back, it's like, oh no, that's too
Yeah.
cringe.
well, that's the growth part, man.
It
You got to
is,
love every moment of it because at
of
that time,
course.
we all thought whether it was TikTok and for you, beats for me, songs for you, we all thought that shit was crack. You know what I mean? That was it. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna love it, this, that, and other, but it is what it is. So
Yeah.
my opinion on any creative platform or whatever you're doing, I believe marketing's like the big key to success.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs like a good marketing plan to even try to reach a certain level of success. You know?
And yeah, and I think in the past that's definitely something I like kind of lacked on, and like now I'm
Mhm.
kind of like it's really something you got to study. Like now I'm
Mhm.
kind of studying other artists and producers and seeing what they're doing and like working
Mhm.
towards that for my next project. Like, and also I'm releasing the YouTube channel, so I'm kind of working on that for that channel with with the marketing aspect and everything.
Yeah. And it's funny because I got a book called Steal Like an Artist, and one of the big things about it, is that it right there? No, I don't know. It's called Steal Like an Artist, and it's talking about how great artists, the difference between a good artist and a great artist, that a good artist doesn't steal, or he steals humbly in a sense. A great artist steals like savagely. You know what I mean? And so let me clear this up. Is that like you basically like Charlie Chaplin, right? Charlie Chaplin was one of the greatest musicians of our time, right? Or not musicians, actors of that time, right? Actors today, I promise you can go to them and say that they ask them if they know Charlie Chaplin, if they've based a big part of their acting career off of what he laid, you know what I mean? Like what he put out for the next generation in a sense. So stealing like an artist is literally just going back in time or going to a person that's in your field and not stealing from them like a savage, you know what I mean? Like taking their shit, but taking inspiration from that person and putting it into your thing. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
very important. Some that goes underlooked sometimes.
Yeah, most
Um,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah. Um, let me ask you guys this. How original do you think that some of your ideas are? How original do you think, um, or you know what? It's not even a question because it's rhetorical at that point. Do you? I don't believe that anything someone thinks about nowadays is original. And the only reason I say it is because I feel like people have heard it from somewhere or they've
Mhm.
seen it somewhere subconsciously or whatever, and now they're interpreting it into their present time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
That's no, yeah, I agree with that. I feel like like you said, your interpretation is original, but like
Mm-hmm.
you don't like, but like the original idea isn't original. You obviously you take inspiration from other stuff that you like or that you heard that you've seen before. So it's kind of hard to be original, but it's not hard to be yourself though, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I'll agree on that aspect as well. Me being on TikTok, I get inspiration from a ton of different people, and so like a lot of my videos have similar audio, similar like layouts. It just has like different scenarios, I guess you could say, in there. But it's basically me being inspired by other people. The only original stuff that I put out is stuff about my life. And that's where it's like I'll do like a little bit of vlog stuff where I'll put out like, oh, this is what happened today in my life. That's the only like original content that I have, and it's only when I'm being myself and talking about me instead of putting out content that's inspired by other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I see that. I just think it's very important. That's an important part of the creative process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is to look to others to find what you truly want to put out.
Yeah.
I think we all have an idea of what we want. Like I'll say this: a big part of my music production is based off of Metro Boomin's entire career. So, like if you look back at him, you will definitely see remnants of me. So it's like that's how I establish myself, I guess, lay the roots as trying to be a good artist. Um, let me ask this, Big Cat. Have you dabbled into TikTok at all? What do you think of TikTok?
I did like one TikTok, and that was when I was promoting one of my songs. Like
Okay.
it was back in January.
Okay.
I understand it's a big market now, but
Uh-huh.
this kind of where I kind of failed at a little bit. Like I don't fall into trends too quickly.
Okay.
Like I'll
Okay.
probably jump into it when I'm like comfortable, when I want to jump into it. So I'm not saying TikTok is a trend, but I'm saying like I was never big on like jumping right into it. So like I did one, but I
Yeah.
didn't really do too many. I'm not
That's
against
fair.
it though. I guess I need to expand
I
myself.
mean,
just a little bit more.
what you could do. I mean, I've seen people do this. People who are in the music, they just post like a song or a beat or like whatever it is
Mhm.
on TikTok, and then some people will. And I did this for um, one of our buddies, Tony Yario.
Yeah,
He went on TikTok and he put out one of his songs, and then I made a video using his song on my thing to try to push some attraction onto his um, video. And so you could always,
Yo,
That's actually something I just found out about a month ago, that you
Yeah.
actually can stream your music on TikTok. So I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
know that yet. So
and
yeah.
that's one thing I'm gonna have to retract my statement from yesterday. We had a guest and we were talking. We were just bashing TikTok, kind of, but that one aspect right there that I can put my sound on the TikTok kind of levels it out, levels the playing field for a lot of social
Mhm.
medias out there.
yeah. And it is crazy to see, like, there's been people who just, like, they will sing and they start gaining a following and start, blowing up a bit. And it's just because they just kept on releasing new content like almost every day. And then they got,
Yeah.
or I've heard that they like reach out to TikTokers. Hey, do you want to do some video for this? Like, they just kind of just DM people and just kind of see if anyone wants to try to make a trend, I guess, because it just takes one random audio that you do and
Mhm.
put out, and for it to become a trend on TikTok, because the weirdest
Yeah.
things become trends on TikTok.
Yeah, it's weird to say. That's a very good way to put it. Uh, but yeah, man, like TikTok is just a very, in my opinion, very new, very immature type of uh, like platform, but it does have some really key factors that can really
Hmm.
put a lot of people forward. I think the biggest thing with TikTok is you gaining followers there and being able to pull them from TikTok to another platform.
Yep.
I think that's the biggest thing.
I feel like it's pretty much like the new Vine, pretty much. That was
Yeah.
kind of like the big thing with Vine, like people getting
Yeah.
followers from there and bringing them to like their YouTube and Instagram and all that.
Yeah. No, that's a great analogy. Our guest yesterday said the exact same thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, and this is just an open thing for either one of you, but I do have a pretty decent following right now on TikTok, and so if you guys start getting onto it and just want to release your stuff, and I can try to come up with an idea, work with you guys to make a TikTok video using your guys' audio and try to put some traction onto you guys.
Most
Mhm.
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I could definitely see Big Cat benefiting from that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Can definitely see that.
Bro, I'm off camera. I'm gonna show you. I got a couple of hits, bro. If you coming over soon.
Hey, and that's the thing. I'm here in Atlanta, but I'm probably gonna be in Chicago tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, chilling with Big Cat. But yeah, man, no, we're definitely, because I'm telling you right now, I got some of my music playing right now in the background. I don't know if anyone can hear it.
Mm-mm.
And for the viewers who do hear it, you're blessed, because the stuff that I'm playing right now is gonna be in the project that I'm releasing, and some of the stuff is like some of the greatest collection of music to this time. You know what I mean? That I believe.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, especially the way I try to form it and whatnot, mold it. I was gonna ask you a question, Big Cat. I forgot it. Don't slip my mind.
Don't think too hard. You might forget it again.
I know, man. I might kill the hamster out there. That's rolling around. I think I was gonna ask you about switching. I think switching from the whole creative aspect of music and whatnot. I wanted to switch to, what do you think about the climate we're in right now, right? Let's talk about like the social climate that we're in right now. What do you think about that as a young man living in let's say Chicago?
Meaning the social climate, like the situation with COVID, or just like the protests and everything?
I guess, I mean, you could wrap COVID into it, but the protests and stuff is mainly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I feel like our people are just tired at the end of the day, and like,
Yeah.
and with everything that's going on, I don't agree with the looting. I don't agree with that at
Okay.
all. But at the end of the day, like I don't know. Like, I feel like the looting is definitely taking away from the meaning of the protest because obviously the media is gonna focus on that
that.
aspect
Hmm.
of it, and they not gonna focus on why we're protesting. And the media does not show. I have so many friends that went to protests and everything, and they send me Snapchats. They don't show how beautiful those protests
Yeah,
are,
yeah, yeah.
and like the stuff like the parts that are not getting like the part of the city that's not getting torn down and everything, and how people are marching and like how nice
Yeah,
it actually is and
yeah,
the cause of it, and like it's just a lot of people are not seeing that in the country. Like half the people in
yeah.
the country are not seeing that.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting you say that, man. I had two really good conversations the last couple of days um, about that exactly. Like one, the light that you decide to look into um, is very influential, right? Let's say you take a Fox News light or you take a CNN light. Those are two different sides of the protest. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And those are really the only two sides you get to see if you don't got people marching. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I got friends down here in Atlanta. I got friends up in Chicago and stuff like that. Talk about their marching and stuff. Personally, I do not choose to march. It's not like I don't support it or anything like that. It's just my choice. You know what I mean? But like when I did go down there one time to go pick up a friend who was at a cafe in Atlanta, and I picked him up. And as soon as we tried to drive off, the protest just kind of engulfed the car, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
got out, took some pictures, and like was kind of like being with it and stuff. And it was like you really don't feel hope like that on a day to day basis. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you've never been around people rallying over one idea in a minute. You know what I mean? Especially let's say talking about like sports, for example. Joey was like basketball. Fuck that other team. Like football. You know what I mean? Like just go out here and tear these niggas up. And excuse me, but like literally just rallying over a good idea, like a seriously like
Yeah.
uh, some idea is I haven't been around that much hope in a while. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
that
Hmm.
changes your heart for a little bit if you get around it.
Yeah. Chris, I
But
have
yeah.
a question for you. What do you think with all these protests and like what do you think is going to happen at the end of this, or like what do you hope for is going to happen at the end of these like
I
protests
mean,
and stuff?
really was kind of happening now. Like it's been there probably been a few laws that have been passed and like a few changes. Like they changing.
Hmm.
I guess they taking down Confederate statues, taking down flags and everything. But to be honest, bro, it's gonna be a cycle. It's always a cycle. It's gonna happen again. A black man gonna get shot. Protests gonna happen. It's a cycle. Like the
Yeah.
Rodney King riots happened when we were just babies, and
Yeah.
it's a
Hmm.
cycle. It's gonna be a whole cycle. Everything. But
Do,
like
do you think
it's
there's a
all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, it's okay. I interrupted you.
No, like I feel like it's always gonna be some slight progress, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be a cycle.
Do you think there's any way to break this cycle?
Nah, because I mean, you can't change people's perspective. You can't. There's a lot of people
Hmm.
that's one sided that's not willing to hear the other side on both sides. Not
Gotcha.
just you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's hard to change people's perspectives.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Joe, you were gonna say something?
No, it was just that question.
Oh, um, one thing I think about a lot too is that um, what's going on here in America is really messed up. Yet I think sometimes it gets overlooked that like there's other things going on in the world. You know,
Hmm.
like for example, like Yemen, which is a place in the Middle East. It's like at the bottom of the peninsula and whatnot. Like that, apparently they are going through the worst humanitarian crisis like in the world right now. You know, and it's pretty messed up. Like and but it's also messed up that what's going on here, right? We got innocent people dying and things like
Yeah.
that. Um, an evolution of racism and this and that. But it's like I think sometimes we get drunk with an idea sometimes, right? We just get so infatuated with an idea that we forget about the rest of the world sometimes, which are our brothers and sisters in the human race, right? So I think that's very interesting with what's going on with America, and that's election year too. So
Yeah. No,
go
it
ahead.
is. It is definitely crazy with everything. I mean, like I haven't heard anything about Yemen, and I yeah, neither have I, and so it's like, but I know you kind of research that. Well, you travel a lot,
Yeah,
so you kind of like look into that
yeah,
stuff, and you really care. But for me, it's just like, if I don't see it on like my social media feeds, right, it's just kind of like I don't go
yeah.
out looking for it. But it
And
is
go ahead, go ahead.
no, it's a go for it.
Well, one of the interesting things is that there's so much going on in the world, you can't care about it all. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And I just think from the biggest perspective, like this is the omniscient view, is that you need to take care of yourself first, and I think that's where it starts. Um, and obviously there's a lot of things going on here around the world with your neighbor, whatnot. As long as you're okay, you know what I mean.
yeah,
But like, no, I got one thing to piggyback on that. You say you can't care about it all. I feel like it's true you can't care about it all, but I feel like you can still understand it. You can still
Yeah,
understand that most people aren't as fortunate as you. Most
yeah,
people weren't put in this situation like you were. So I mean, yeah, you
yeah,
gotta take care of yourself, but at the end of the day, like I feel like more people use the energy to be more negative and more like, oh, why the fuck you like acting that way? Why you so unappreciative
yeah,
of this
yeah,
and everything? You know what I mean? So I feel like people could take more time to be more understanding at the end of the
yeah,
day
yeah,
if they don't care.
yeah, yeah. And but that starts within. You know what I mean? That starts with the
yeah,
with the person.
True,
Because
true.
like one thing that I've learned is that like you will waste time trying to preach an idea to someone because the only way, and I wouldn't say the only way, one of
yeah,
the only ways you'll get a person to understand you is if you like bow down or submit to their idea. You know what I'm saying? Which is not the
Mm-hmm.
point of a conversation, I don't believe.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's a interesting way to look at that. But I remember Big Cat. I remember. Let me pick your brain here. Pick your memory real quick.
Okay.
So there was one time when we were at the UC, at Robert Morris, um, and we're just chilling and whatnot. And then you had explained the concept to me, right? That not everybody matters and whatnot. Do you remember this?
Joe, we must have been high or something because
Oh,
I don't remember that.
it was okay. It's not
What
as
was the
like
what
it's
was the
not as
conversation outside of that? Like,
right. It's not as period as that. I was explaining like all the things that I care about, all the things that I have these feelings about, and this, that, and other. And you were like, I remember you had came to the point you were like, man, you got to realize that not everybody matters. And you brought it into like a very uh, theological view. You were like, man, if you believe in heaven, not everybody matters, and all these different things. I don't know if you remember that, but if you do, I want to try to explain it if you don't,
I
and maybe
you can explain it, and I'll just piggyback off of you because
Yeah.
I honestly don't
maybe
remember the
it was
conversation.
so minuscule in your mind. You
College
had
was like 3 years, almost 2 or 3 years ago.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a lot younger than you, so I guess I got the young memory. No, 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 but
well, you only 1 year younger than me, though, so.
really only 1 year. Yeah, yeah. But but no. So I remember one of the things, and this is just piggybacking on the topic that we were talking about with everything going on, right? Is that you explained to me the concept that not everybody matters, right? And it took a little bit for me to remember, like, to kind of hold on to that because I was like, what are you talking about? But one of the biggest points you were trying to make was that, like, in a situation of your life, right? Whatever you believe in, whatever you like, whatever you fight for, you know, sometimes you need to come to the realization that the only people that matter are the people that are fighting for or going to end up in that same situation that you're in a sense. The way you put it was that, like, if you believe in heaven and hell, you know, the only people that matter, the only people that are your brothers and sisters are the people who are going to make it to heaven, which we don't have control over, right? We don't know right away. But like, you know, those are the people in a sense that you should care about. You know, even though you care about everyone, you try to give your goodwill to everybody, but like you'll know and you'll have a good inclination to know about the people that you should go that extra mile for. And I remember you had taught me that one, and that was one that had stuck with me for a minute. But apparently you don't remember it, so I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna take that idea. I'm taking it. And
I say this. I don't remember that conversation because we had like many deep conversations. You, me, and
that's
Will.
very true.
And like I do remember one conversation we had like that's kind of similar to that. That this might be the conversation, but like how we kind of talked about like how everybody like in your own head, everybody thinks everybody thinks they're the main character in their movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like in that type of situation. So I probably said something like that, and like just how like we need to probably sit back and like realize like and just adjust and like reflect on like how we go about life pretty much. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's probably the
conversation. I mean, you're 100% right. You know, whether it was that conversation or that one, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. And it just takes you out of your world when you start looking at life like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it's all about sometimes, you know?
Yeah, we was definitely high.
Yeah, I think so.
But you know, I can agree with that statement that if you're looking at your personal life, like your day-to-day life, not everyone's going to matter. You know, it's just going to be, you know, those closest to you are the people that are going to matter. Those who are, you know, wanting to be in your life, wanting to support you, you want to support them. Those are the people that actually matter in your life, not everyone else is going to matter. It doesn't mean you can't be respectful and understanding and caring about these other people, but in your personal life, they just don't have a place.
Well, and that's where it starts, I feel, right? Is that if you can take care of yourself and the people around you, those people can probably take care of themselves and the people around them, you know, and it's a spreading effect, you know. Perfect world scenarios, but like it's definitely like the next step, I think, towards like healing as a society here in America, you know. But yeah, that one's tough right there.
It is tough.
What was I gonna ask next? I don't know.
It's been funny. So I've been watching this the Avatar show, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then I watched the next 4 seasons of like that. It's called Legend of Korra. It's the next Avatar.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And so it's interesting how in both those seasons they talked about like letting go of, you know, your earthly connections, and once the Avatar or these people let go of all their earthly connections, like, you know, worry, fear, even like happiness, and then people that they love, once they like kind of let that go and like focused on themselves, they were able to do these great things. For instance, for the Avatar, he was able to control the Avatar state, and for this villain in the Legend of Korra, he was able to fly. Like it was just it's
a wild shit. It's a wild shit.
So wild shit happens, but it's interesting that not everyone matters. It's kind of could be like, you know, if you let go of like your things that hold you, like materialistic things, and like worrying about connections with other people, and if you just let that go and focus on yourself, it may bring you to greater heights.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And yeah, it just, like I said, it definitely just starts with yourself, right? And so if you can't, like, if you're at a state where you know you're not feeling it, right? You're not feeling yourself, you're not feeling the day, you're not feeling whatever. It's probably because you need to take care of yourself more, you know. And you need to think about the things that you're taking care of before you take care of yourself, you know. I actually had an ex-girlfriend. All right, I'm gonna bring this one up.
Oh geez.
I had an ex-girlfriend that we literally had to come to an understanding that like it was just very mutual thing. We had to come to an understanding that like, hey, it is not like it's just not our time. Like, you know, like you like me, I like you, cool. But it's just not our time for each other. I need to take this time for myself, you know. And I think it's a very mature kind of way to look at things. I've never done that before, you know. It's definitely
Yeah.
a step up in life and achievement, but it was real, you know. So yeah.
You growing up.
Oh yeah, growing up, right? Growing up before my own eyes. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, that's cool. That's a cool way. I would say that we're getting to know the big cat here, you know, as a
Yeah.
community and whatnot, you know. What are we doing here? Yeah, I guess we're approaching like 45 minutes.
Okay.
A decent amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we might call it right here. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's close to what this is episode 12.
12. Yep.
Episode 12. We're gonna be close to episode 12 of the Conversation Saves the World.
And he literally just told me about this like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I
never
told him about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we got to do a little bit better marketing for ourselves. We gotta
well, this is this is very low budget. Very low.
It is very low
everything.
budget.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's something, bro. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we're just trying to have that conversation that saves the world. You know.
Yeah.
I mean?
Content is king, bro.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're gonna close the word. Any last words, Joe?
Nope. I got nothing. Chris, anything else?
None. Just I appreciate y'all for having me. Be on the lookout for new music, YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram at BigCat_music.
Yeah, whenever you get those links, even if you start in the next couple weeks, send that to us. We'll put it in the description of this video. And so if people see this in the future, they can be like, oh, cool. Let's go check out that YouTube channel.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. This is close to number 12, 1, 2, to our, and this is, we had 8 viewers last time. So, hey, we're
going up.
We're there. We're there.
We're going up. All right, guys.
But yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in episode 13.
Cool.